This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Yo, another episode of the Big Homie's house, but this episode is the Thick Homie's house. We got some thick homies in the building.
The thick homies.
So we're gonna start over here. Introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you is.
Well, I'm Naiy So Glam.
Where you from now?
Originally, I'm from San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay.
But I moved here from Las Vegas. It's about to be 2 years. I've been in the A.
Wow, so I met you when you first came down here.
You met me before I even moved here.
Oh,
you
wow.
don't even remember that.
I
We
remember
met
it was
in,
December.
2021.
That was 2021?
December.
Yeah,
Yes.
It
It
was.
was so long
It
ago.
was,
I didn't
it
even live
was.
here. I still lived in Vegas.
Wow. Yeah, I remember it was December when we met.
Yeah, it was so long ago.
And of course, right here,
Okay, I'm Darbie.
Darbie. How you doing, Darbie?
I'm doing
And where you
fine.
from?
I'm from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I've been here for 10 years.
Oh, you from Atlanta now. Wait, are you a Falcon fan
The
yet?
ATL.
You know what? I'm not even a sports fan,
You
so
don't like
I'm a
sports?
fan of whoever winning.
I know
We'll,
that's
we'll
right.
discuss that. Of course,
The thickest.
the thickest.
It is
Thixen.
Thixen Vixen.
Yeah.
I already know.
And where you from?
I'm from Ohio.
Ohio. We got a wide variety.
Bengals fan
Yeah.
all day, every day.
That's why you got
that's
your orange
right.
on?
Yeah, I got my orange on from the Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's all the way right.
Who they play tomorrow? I think they play.
don't
I
even
think they
know.
play the. They play some. I think they play the Bengals. They play the Bengals play the Eagles. Yeah, because I got Jalen Hurts in fantasy. So
Okay.
fingers crossed. Hope he goes off. But hey, ladies, how you doing?
Good.
Y'all
feeling
good on this
great.
good
Thanks for having
Saturday?
us.
The
Yeah.
thickest episode ever.
The thickest episode ever.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like that. Can
yeah.
that be the name?
That could be. That
Yeah.
can
We gonna
definitely be the
take
name.
it.
The thickest episode ever.
Yeah,
Thick
yeah,
Homie's
yeah.
house.
Thick Homie's
So y'all
house.
heard the
Yes.
episode
Thick
name.
homies.
We
Thickest
ripping
episode
that.
ever.
I like
Thick Homie's
that.
house.
Thick Homie's house.
So I had this question written down. I want to ask you guys. We're gonna get into everything. I got a lot of things. This is the first thing that I had in mind because I was riding through traffic and I thought about this and I wanted you guys' opinion on it. I think if somebody has a lot of friends, they don't have a lot of boundaries. What do you think about
Oh
that?
my God, I was just talking about this on my live. I
Talk-
was just talking about
talk
this. I
about
was
it.
saying, like, if you have a lot of friends, you don't even need enemies. Like, you really don't. Your friends will destroy you. Like, and I don't even think it's because they mean harm. I think because they just don't know how to be good friends.
Yeah.
Like some people, most people, we live in a culture where people don't know how to enjoy themselves or each other without it being like a one constant thing, like partying, drugs, alcohol, all of this and this. If you take all of that away, these
Are
folks
we
don't
really
even like each
friends?
other.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this, I
Yeah.
feel like we are networking as friends where you call me like, hey, who can you get? I'm calling my girls. That's a friendship to me because I know that we are all in the same industry. We are trying to get views and you have the show that you're doing. You're blowing up on your page. Like, we're giving each other an opportunity. That's a friendship. Not, hey, let's go out and drink and, shake or whatever.
And
So,
talk about people,
Yeah,
do
That's-
drugs,
that's a
do
good- that's-
your
bullshit.
friends
That's a good
and
point.
opportunities.
Right.
That's a real friendship. I
And
don't-
just motivating your friends. Like, she motivate me so heavy
Thank
to
you.
keep going with this workout shit because I'm not a workout person.
Right.
I'm not. But she motivates me to do this.
Yeah.
Right, because
It's-
you see me from the beginning, like, yeah.
And then the thing is, she's the type of person, she don't say she gonna do some shit. She do that shit as soon as she say she gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And like, she's definitely a great person. Like,
you.
she's a great person. She's about business. Like, she knows how to be a real friend. You see what I'm saying? Like, she's not that friend that's gonna call me and be like, oh girl, let's go party. Oh, it's some niggas over here. It's this, that, and the third. All these distractions or
Because
whatever.
is that really your
but
friend?
but she gonna ask, is you okay? Are you still focused on your journey? Do you want to go and do this content together? So since we're on the same journey, that's support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said just now about like your friends are more than people that just invite you to go out and to go to the club. Cause like if that's all, cause I'm not even the type of person that go out for real. Like
Because
so-
if you remove all that stuff, what do you
What do you
guys
have?
have? Are
What do
we
we-
really friends?
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
And a lot of times the answer is no.
Yeah.
That's why I say if you have a lot of friends, you don't need enemies. I
Yeah.
promise. There's nothing an enemy can do. As a matter of fact, your enemy will probably pick you up faster than one of them.
yeah,
Your enemy will be like, have some humanity.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see?
Like damn, I wouldn't even did him like that.
Right.
Like with the LIL DURK shit that's going on right
Oh,
now.
man.
Bruh, Mans was wearing a wire for
Yes,
what, 12 years?
And
Yeah.
they said that he paid like 50, gave him like 50K, paid for his lawyer, paid for all his stuff. And you going to do him like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bruh, and it's looking bad.
That's
like,
crazy.
bro, it might be over with.
Yeah.
But that's how
But
it is.
this is your
though.
friend.
And this is your like day one friend.
Right.
And that's crazy.
But again, like, and I was explaining this to one of my other friends. Y'all might see his show Walla. Excuse me. And me and him was talking about this on his show about how if you have a big circle of friends, sometimes they can be a parachute. Dirk had a big parachute. Like he's running and running and
Hold on,
running. But
explain that. Explain
when I
that.
say a parachute, okay, if you go skydiving, you put on a parachute. That parachute is meant to slow you down, right?
That's true. That's true.
If you are running that parachute, like if you like, 'cause I know Beyonce does this. She runs with a parachute on, right? And it's meant to make her body fight against that thing, right?
The resistance.
Right. But if you keep going to go choose that parachute, it's gonna do exactly what it did to Dirk, slow you down and eventually stop you. Like he like when he got to the point where he was dropping songs with little kids and singing, he shouldn't have been thinking about no O Block, no reviving, no damn Von Delph. None of that even mattered anymore. Because he had already started reaching a point to be an example for his kids. Now his kids gotta grow up without him, possibly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Von in the ground.
Yeah.
And if Von was here, he wouldn't be giving a damn about your damn kids the same way the rest of O Block don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
like, at what point do you choose yourself and your
Yes.
family?
And that
Right.
goes like the people who always go back to help the hood or go. I'm going
Yeah,
back
you
to-
can't really do that.
You can't.
And then it's like you can help, but
You
like
can
from
do
a
it, but
distance.
you don't have to do it.
Yeah, but from
Exactly,
a
yeah.
distance, they be wanting to be like
Hands
in
on.
there.
Trenches,
You can't
yeah.
do that because when you get out of that, people are not happy for you.
They're
They'll
not.
pretend they are, but they want what you got. They want to take.
Yeah.
And they want to bring you down. Look how your own people. It's always your own
Your own
people.
people.
But
It's
sometimes it
always
ain't
your
even
own people.
it ain't even so much as they want to bring you down. Honestly, they want to be where you at, but they still don't know how to
Yeah.
be.
But wanting
there.
to be where you at is going to bring you down.
Yeah,
Like,
all
if-
the time.
Like, say for instance, you remember the Titanic movie when them folks was in the lifeboats and the folks was in the water, like, bro, help me. Whole time, like, I can't pull you up. Like, and the
Like,
fact
what
that
am I
you
gonna
even,
do?
and the fact that you even holding on to this lifeboat, you pulling all of us
Yeah.
down.
You about to knock our shit down.
Yeah, like you think this is gonna save you, but it's really gonna make everybody drown.
Right.
So,
And they don't care.
because to them, this is your way out. That's really a good analogy.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to y'all for bringing that to the light.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't have people around you who are not where you want to be, but they want to be there, and you can't have people around you who are desperate. Because a desperate person don't
Do
care
anything.
who they
Desperate
bring.
measures.
They gonna do anything.
I mean, most of those people are people that want it but not willing to put in the work.
Right.
It's so many people out there like that, and I made a statement on Twitter earlier this week. I said that I prayed to God that He would bring me people that wanted to make money, but that happened. But they wanted to make money, but they wanted to make the money from me. They wanted it to be off of the work that I was doing, not the opportunity that I was giving.
But you know what I learned about praying to God? You got to be specific.
That's what I was getting
That's
into.
where we all fucked
That's
up
what I
at,
was getting into.
because I was praying for patience, but I was praying for patience like with my son, right? But I didn't say that. And now I've been going through so much stuff, and I'm like, well, you did ask for patience, and you have no
Yeah.
choice but to be patient now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you really have to be specific when you talk to God, because
Yeah, you
He'll
do.
just do whatever you said.
Yeah.
You didn't say, bring me people that are ready to make their own money.
Yeah, yeah.
You said, bring me people that want to make money.
Exactly, exactly.
Now they're like, let's make some money.
Yeah.
But you need to do it.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
but no,
yeah.
no, no,
Let's
no.
make
They
some
wanna
money out
make
what you're
money,
doing.
though.
Yeah, but that's
He brought the
it.
people.
They want to make
exactly.
money, and the
Yeah.
people came.
Exactly.
He did what you asked.
Exactly. And now that I found out I need to be more specific.
You
about
gotta
that,
be specific when you talk
It's
to
like,
God.
you know, now okay, God, let's revisit this.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I meant that, but can we add some specifics to it?
Exactly.
'Cause wait a minute.
And you know, that's just the way life is. But we get more opportunities to advance and grow and learn from our mistakes and learn from the people that we allow around us, because everybody don't deserve to be around you. And I don't think
That is a
I don't
fact.
think that's something that people are comfortable enough saying, that, you know, it costs to be around me. Not cost financially, but you have to have something to lose.
Right.
Because everybody in here like has something to lose on some level. We can't just be around what's known in this generation as a crash out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people out here with crash out energy.
Yeah.
And I ain't going for no shit
Or
like
try
that.
to make you crash out.
Because and they'll crash out because they ain't got shit to lose for. It's almost like that meme or that Instagram video. It's like you ride with your homeboy. He start talking about how much he misses his ex, and now the car starts speeding up. Yeah, he about to crash his motherfucker out.
Oh, let me out. Hold on.
He ain't got shit to live for to him. I'm like, bro, hold on.
Can I get out?
I'm trying to get back to my kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back to my
I'm gonna
kids.
hop out and roll.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck? That is true, though.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the lesson in all that is keep people around you who care about their lives as much as you care about yours, and be around people who have shit to lose, and that are actively working towards things. Because it's certain people now that, like, even if you have aspirations and I think your aspirations are bullshit, then I'm gonna look at you crazy like, bro, nah, I can't even be around. Like, if your aspiration is to, I don't know, be the biggest shooter in Atlanta, you know,
I definitely don't want no parts.
I don't want any parts of
I
that,
don't
buddy.
want any parts in
No
that.
parts.
I don't even want to wish you good luck, my nigga. I might call the police on you.
Right. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, come pick this nigga up.
What are you doing?
Get you some rehabilitation.
Yeah,
What
bro.
is wrong with you? But
Yeah.
it's a lot of grown people with that type of mindset, and that's
That's true.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, the grown folks act like they act like big kids. As a matter of fact, the grown folks competing with the kids.
They are.
On who can be the most immature.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Folks ain't got no OGs no more.
No.
Like,
Yeah, because, like, we're technically the OGs and
Yeah.
stuff now, but, like, when you see, like, the younger generation, they're
They-
going to be fucked.
yeah,
Because
They're
don't listen.
fucked.
They do whatever they want to do. They don't take accountability or responsibility. They think everything should be handed to them. It's like we came from a generation where we actually had to work for things, and it's starting to change where the younger kids think that if I want this, I'm automatically supposed to have it, instead of like, I want this, let me go work for it.
Well, I think a part of that's because we have empowered a generation of people that think like, oh well, you can do anything, but it's, again, like we said before about what your prayers need to be. You know, you got to tell the whole story. Yeah, you can do anything you want if you work towards it.
Right.
Like you can't do that if you haven't put in the work ethic to get to that point. You feel me? So just because we say you can do anything you want doesn't mean people are going to give you everything that you want.
Right.
So we are dealing with the ramifications of that in this generation because people are just entitled.
Yeah, unfortunately.
People are entitled, and it's not just it's entitled. It's entitled, and they're entitled, and they are untalented.
And have a lot of audacity.
A lot of audacity.
A lot of audacity.
A lot of
Don't forget the
audacity.
audacity
Like,
part.
really? Like, you think this is like,
But the internet makes it easy to do that.
Yes.
and Atlanta empowers that shit a lot.
Because everybody is a superstar here in Atlanta. And
Until
nobody,
until they run into somebody who really has like some level of status, and now, you know, they get looked at crazy.
Right. You know what I done realized? Because I work with celebrities a lot. You know, I do music videos. I'm a model. So I work with a lot of celebrities. And I noticed the higher up celebrities
They
are
be cool
far
as fuck.
more humble
Yes.
than those like rising
I knew what you was
small
about to say.
stars. They are like, and you would think
It's
like,
by a wide margin too.
right. It is.
Like for me, and I'm probably sure you can attest to this too. If you got a video shoot with a big name celebrity, they're gonna be there on time, and we're gonna be professional, and it's gonna be a great shoot. If you work with somebody who just got their first hit last week, then they're gonna be 3 hours late. They're gonna be an asshole, and then it's gonna be an awful experience.
And
But
don't
then
let
that
it be
person-
somebody who don't have no real backing. Because, you know, you got some of them who got just a social media platform and a lot of following. You know, and some scam money. Then you got some people who got a real backing, a real label behind them.
Yeah,
You know, and baby, the ones with no real backing they are the worst.
absolutely, 100%. Them folks is like, I was dealing with. I'm not even gonna give dude no type of interview, no shit like that. But like a rapper who just got popping like within this year, tried to charge me for an interview.
Really?
And I can't even say it was them because it could have been just somebody on their team trying to run up some little money for themselves and just act as the publicist. But tried to charge for an interview, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, I only use like you hold the button on the iMessage and hit the question mark. Mm-hmm. I did that, and I only use that too much often because I'm like, bro, you know who you talking to? Like, you gonna charge me? Like, okay.
Like this is gonna help you,
right?
Especially if you're just like rising.
Just not right.
Exactly.
Like this is gonna help you.
Like,
you want people to keep looking at you.
we play your song on my station.
They
like,
don't see it like that though.
But again, I don't want to say it was a rapper because I wasn't talking to him directly. It could have been somebody on his team. He might have not known anything about it. But
it could have been a part of his parachute.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's true.
That is a very good point. Now we was talking about something earlier. We was talking. You said something about entitled generation. People are, just the mindset of this current generation. Now I want to ask y'all about this shit that happened on the internet on Twitter about 2-3 weeks ago with this Gucci nigga.
Oh wow!
God.
So I made a video on TikTok that went viral.
I want to address it on both sides because I feel like everything involved in that shit was, first of all, it lasted way too long on the internet and everybody was stupid. So what was your...
Well, this is what I would say because I talked about it on my TikTok. My TikTok video went viral. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing. There's a lot I could say, and there was a lot I did say. In this industry, if you are going to be an adult star, testing is very important, and being transparent about your test is very important. The difference is, and something that we talked about before we even started the show, there's a difference between being a P-star and a content creator. Mm-hmm. There's really no rules that content creators follow. So that's why you were like, everybody's, where's his test? Where are their tests? Well, that's at discretion. These people are getting together and, making videos. The test is at their discretion, whether they give it or not. But with that situation, you see how it played out. He went on Aiden and academics saying, it wasn't me, I didn't have it. He provided a test from 2023. Now, we're in October of 2024, and you're providing me a test that's almost a year old. What has transpired that entire time? And then you refused to get on live. If you called me out, and then somebody's like, well, get him on the phone. I'm hopping on the phone. You said, what? What happened? He didn't even want to get on live with the girl. He refused to do that. And he said, I'm going to come back tomorrow and show you the test. Didn't come back, but he released a PR statement. I apologize and this and that. You see how the whole thing played out. And this is why you have to be careful. This is the main point I want to say in all of that. The internet came against us because I am a content creator. I do that same kind of content. I really got a lot of backlash just for putting my word out there. But the thing is, it can happen to people like you too. Sexual health is important, not just for people who are in the industry, but everyday people. You hear of cases of men who have knowingly given HIV to their partners, giving it out just because they have it. So people saying like, that's just an issue that affects content creators. No, it's an issue that affects anybody who is sexually active. So knowing your sexual status is important, and knowing that it could also happen to you, and it's not just a problem in our community because we do adult content. Yeah.
And also I want to add to what you said. Atlanta has the rate of HIV and AIDS in Atlanta is comparable to that of a third world country. Yes. So for people to say, it's just, the content, no, everybody can get that shit. That shit don't got no name. It don't got, it's not going after a title, no social class, nothing like that. It's not going for jobs. Anybody can get that shit. So know your status.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also would say this too. I see a lot of dragging of the women. They made a list like, these are women he worked with. And then for the entire week, people were berating and harassing these women who, these are the women he burned. Like, you don't know that.
They were like, this is what you get for deciding to do this. Like, this is what you get. Like,
right,
whoa.
What? And I'm like, these are
That's
women.
crazy.
These women, and then even the women coming out and saying, no, I've been tested. We worked together a year ago. I am not a part of that. But it's like, the internet's going to believe the most ridiculous shit no matter what.
Of course. Yeah. The lies are always more entertaining.
Exactly. Yeah. So nobody wants to hear the truth, even though they're saying they want to know the truth. They don't.
But also, like the average person on internet, like that shit not gonna affect you anyway because you wasn't gonna fucking
And that is my entire point.
They
You
act like
never
they
had
was about
access
to.
to any of the women on that list, and a lot of the girls on the list I personally know. So, and I've worked with a few of them. Y'all was never going to get. Y'all put that list out as shame. Y'all didn't put it out for informational purposes, like, oh, be aware, because you were never going to get these women. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
What did you think about that situation?
I wasn't surprised because I've been hearing that. I've been hearing all kind of rumors about Gucci. I can't lie.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like-
So
Like that?
Yeah.
like that
For years.
Yes, for a while. Yes.
We've had spaces on Twitter
but
about
they don't
him.
care though.
So,
People will say this.
Who's the ones not care? Right? Is it the girls that don't care about
The
this?
girls that keep working
People,
with him.
because you got to think like in this community on Twitter, they'll sit here and like out the people. Like Miss B Nasty, especially, she'll out all kind of people. But then it's people like that's not true, or he didn't do that, or I'm gonna still work with them.
I
or,
did see that too though.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even when people do get warned, look how they're tearing the girl up who came out and told her story. She didn't
Right.
have to tell her story, but she did. She put herself out there to protect somebody else, and they're still trying to blame her. They're dragging her. They're saying she didn't do that. Why should she even come out? This is why people don't be telling a story, because you're not going to believe me no way.
Yeah.
So why does it even matter?
I do feel like on the back end though, she was on the back end for her, like for her to do like a 20 versus 1 and make content around that, it's kind of like, bro, come on.
But why not?
I'm
This
tell
is her
you why
moment.
not. It's listen.
Why not? She's blowing up. Everybody's talking about her. So why
Right.
not spin it to your own narrative? She's stuck with the
There's-
shit.
Mhm.
What's she gonna do? Cry about it and be sad
not
about
go on
it?
the 20 versus 1 about
Why
it.
Why
not?
not?
If the niggas showed up, why she can't show
Exactly.
up?
Because I'm pretty sure all the niggas that showed up got it.
Or they don't
This
care.
People
Or
don't
they
pay
don't
attention.
care.
Like, no, seriously, people don't pay attention to like STDs don't just affect content creators. Like it's people out here doing the most without a camera, without a content account, without any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you got average people that still doing the most.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it all just shed light on how the STD rate for real and how people really catching it.
And that,
I think people don't care though.
They
I
don't.
think either they have it or they don't give a fuck, because these people don't give a fuck and they all walk around thinking it couldn't happen to me.
Exactly.
Not
Right.
me.
It
Not
was a
me.
man the other day just told me he don't get tested.
They don't be getting
at the
tested.
20V,
Yeah, he just said
They
he
don't be
get
getting
tested.
tested.
Cause you know what? Nigga just gonna die. Like they just gonna die. Then what?
They be waiting on the girls to get tested.
Yes,
to come back and
the
say,
guys will have the girl go get tested.
And
Then the girl just said that about her baby daddy. Said her baby daddy was like, "Oh, baby mama, what you think if I ask my girl to go get tested?"
Like, why
wouldn't
just go?
you go?
I
He
want
talking
y'all
about, I
to
ain't been to the
know,
doctor in so long.
Atlanta Aid has free testing. All you have to do is go down there. They will test you for HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, absolutely free. So those are the main things that people may have. If you feel like you need testing, it's private and confidential. I don't know. Maybe you might see your homeboy down there, but get tested.
That they don't like
And
going to the doctor.
That is something I cannot stress any deeper than that.
But also, I'm gonna say this as well. There's a lot of, it's not a lot, but it's certain diseases that affect men differently than they affect women.
Absolutely.
So it's something that it's something that I was about to say. I'm not even gonna put that shit on me. It's something that a guy could have that is dormant in him, but if he have sex with a woman, she'll show symptoms.
Right.
But if you know you're out here raw dogging everybody, at what point do you say, regardless of symptoms or not, I should go get tested?
Right.
Like,
your sexual health is on
it's
you.
on you.
Absolutely.
It don't matter if you have symptoms. I go get tested all the time. I don't be having no symptoms.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I'm good. If I know I'm doing something, I need to make sure I'm good. It's not nobody else's job to make sure you're good.
Yeah, for sure. So I said that to say a guy can't rely on if you clean, I'm clean.
Right. But
they
do.
think that, oh, you look
They
clean.
rely on
You
that.
don't look like you got nothing. What do
Yeah.
that look like?
Because again,
And you don't see that
too,
until this late stage.
What does that
STDs
look
don't
like?
just, they don't have a look, right?
Yeah,
No.
but they'll say like, oh, you don't look like you got nothing.
Right. So back to the girl that we were talking about, Danae. Like, oh, you talking about people showing up for her 20V. They are going to see her and not think that she has, and she don't look like anything's wrong with her.
And it wasn't. I don't think she was alone in being crazy. I think the niggas that showed up to that shit was crazy as well.
But they're all probably looking for clout.
Right. And
I
this
have
is
my own.
this world.
I have my own perception of that
This
type of
world
shit.
is all about clout.
Yes.
So it's like,
yeah, everybody.
they know that her video is going to
It's
do
gonna blow
numbers.
up.
So they want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the girl talking about she has HIV and she doesn't feel like she should have to.
Yes,
I
disclose
was about to ask that. So what do you think about that statement? Do you think somebody has something like that? It's not up to them to disclose their status.
No, I absolutely feel that if you are going to be sexually active with a person,
Let's say
yes.
let's start with dating. Like if I meet a girl and she has it, we not fucking yet, but like we go out on a date and we're talking.
No.
You don't think so?
And I'm gonna say this because we don't know how far that dating process is gonna go, and that's something to be very vulnerable about.
And you would just be telling everybody.
Right. So maybe I want you to get to know me outside of that, so you can make an informed opinion about me without that biased. I don't think until you're ready to actually have sex that it needs to be disclosed.
But then when we ready to have sex,
But no, it's not a rush
It
process.
should be
because
no, I'm saying, but
Yeah.
I'm saying when we do get to that point, and now
when you guys get to that point and she knows she's serious and you serious, then she should tell you.
Right.
But what if I don't want to be? Now you've robbed me of the opportunity to make that choice.
No, because
No,
now you
because
still
you
have
can
the choice
still
to
make
walk
the
away.
choice. It's
but I like you now.
Right, but
So what you
again,
gonna do?
You can still walk away.
You can still walk away, but the thing is this: you have to understand when you're that person who's in a situation, they know a lot more about it than you do. They know how it can affect you and them. So they've already thought about that stage of if we get intimate, how is this going to affect you? They've already thought about that in advance. A lot of people who are positive, they're on medications where it's undetectable and non-transmittable. That's something that can be discussed. And again, if you know that that's something you have and you're taking extra precaution, I would assume that you both will go get tested together just to make sure. So my thing is this: someone who is HIV positive and knowing it and is aware of their sexual health, the precautions for them to have sex is not going to be like, we go on a date and now we going back to your place. It's really going to take some time and it's going to take some trust. So it's not going to be the same process as dating regularly where it's quick, fast, and now we hooked up and we just,
As long as you're not purposely out here trying to just give somebody that stuff, I feel like there's nothing wrong with wanting to make sure this is really a person that you're going to deal with before sharing that. Because if you just got to meet and be like, hi, I'm so-and-so, I blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Now you're telling
turned
everybody.
off.
Right.
But she did get on the internet and tell everybody. So I feel like now it really doesn't matter what she does or doesn't tell because the video's out there.
Right. I think that, like, honestly, dating should, just across the board, should come with a standard that's like, if we're going to have sex, then, okay, it's time for us to go get tested and present results.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I mean, that's the way I handle my own sex life. If we at that point and we ready to start getting sexual, okay, well, it's time to go ahead and start pulling out them my charts.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah.
And honestly, that usually works for me. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why people just don't do that.
Because
I think that
people
right there.
don't have the information to provide. You know,
And
that's really what it is.
But I mean,
Or
when she
they do,
says
and
it
they're
works, when she
deceiving.
says it works for her, then if you don't got it, then it's a no go. So we
Right.
ain't gotta have no conversation.
Right.
But
We're gonna
that's
stop
the
talking.
thing, because that's the red flag. If I pull out my chart and say I have results to show you and you have nothing,
And you like, what's in my chart?
You've never even been tested. That's
Yeah.
the red flag. So that gives me pause.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not even a pause, motherfucker. It's a stop.
Yes.
Or like
It's-
Gucci bringing out a year-old test.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And also, I feel like a lot of this hinges on the person that does have it being knowledgeable of their situation as well. Because even with, like, going back to the girl, like, she started talking about stuff in the comments. Like, bro, that's not how this shit works. Like, you saying, oh, well, I can't get it. You can't pass it if it's not an outbreak, bro. The Google says differently. Like, this is, if you're still, I feel like that's, like, you get some shit like that, it's like, turn your ACL as an athlete. You got to slow down. Like, you cannot go at the same rate that you were before, because this is something that, if, like, or at least you enforce condoms. And I know, I did see a lot of the women that were active in that situation say, oh, no. Like, so don't nobody else got it but him? And that ain't none of my business, but somebody's lying somewhere. So that's, again, being knowledgeable of the situation and not just taking people at face value.
Right.
You feel me?
But the thing is, the majority of the girls in the community are getting tested regularly. And especially if you're actively working, your test is only good for 10 days. So when your test is good for 10 days. You're tested every 10 days.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
again, that's why these girls are telling you, no, I don't have it. And they know they don't, because they've been tested consistently.
But okay, well let's spin back because you said something earlier about the difference, and we talked about it before,
Right.
but we didn't get a chance to like go into the super details of it. So content creator versus P-star.
Right. So a P-star is definitely, like, as a civilian, that's somebody who doesn't do content or
Civilian?
I
You
call
goddamn.
guys civilians. So as a civilian, you're going to look at everybody who does that kind of work and you're going to categorize them as a P-star, and that's not correct. A P-star is somebody who is actually contracted out, usually through like a production company. So you're thinking someone like Brazzers or Vixens or, you know, Dollhouse, any kind of production company that produces content, and then they will hire you. You'll come to set. This person to come to set, you don't even know this person sometimes, and you're working together on a scene that they're creating.
Mm-hmm.
It's all controlled by the company that has hired you, or actually hired to come do a job, and that job is to have sex with whoever they tell you in whatever position. Now, as a content creator, I have 100% control over who I work with, how I work with them, when I work with them, what I do, what I don't do. So I'm very structured as what I put out. Like, nobody can tell me, like, people ask me for certain kind of things. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Because well, you're supposed to be. No, I'm not. Because I have 100% creative control over all of my content, producing it, scripting it, shooting it. That's all on me. 100% profit comes back to me, but it also costs me money to make the content that I make. If you see my content, it's more like little mini movies. So I'm on location. I got costumes, you know.
I've seen your location.
Yeah, you know,
Oh.
I get creative with my thing. So that's the difference. The content creator is like, I'm not forced to do anything, you know. And that's how people get away with not showing a test. If you're an actual P-star in a production company, they are legally required to make sure that you're tested and it is up to date. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said the 10 days is a standard for a P-star. They're tested every 10 days if they're actively working. And as a content creator, this is how the whole Gucci third leg situation happened. There's no provision to make sure that you're doing things to protocol.
But that's also why these guys go after young girls who are new to the industry, because they don't know
know
the protocol. You're not gonna, not saying it couldn't happen, but you're not gonna go after a seasoned person, someone who's been really doing content, because they're gonna want the test.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or they would see you and be like, what did he say that was from shaving? You don't get hair on the shaft of your penis.
And it
so
doesn't
a
look
grown
like
As a
woman
man with a
would know.
penis, I know you do not get hair.
You
on the
don't.
side.
Right.
And as a grown woman, you would know that. But the girl was like 19.
Yeah.
And
You
she-
get what
she
I'm
was eager
saying?
for the
She's trying to
attention,
get
the
some money, and
Yeah.
then that's the thing. They get the new girls because he has this big following. He has all these videos. He has all these views. He look like he's getting all this money. They convince you that this is the only way you're gonna make money is
Yeah.
if you sleep with these guys.
And
Yeah.
But that's not how
That's
it
not
works.
true.
But I think that's it's predatory.
It
Yeah.
is predatory.
That's predatory.
It
Very
is predatory.
Yeah, that's predatory.
It's very
Because
predatory.
This chick just
But that's the
fresh out of high
naive.
school.
You're going
Yeah.
for a naive girl
Yeah.
who doesn't know better. And then she is also coming into this. You don't know her financial situation. She might really need that money.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, oh, I have to sleep with him for my money to go up. But that's not the case. That's not
Yeah.
true. And then 9 times out of 10, you'll sleep with these guys and not even really make no money.
No.
They're making the money off of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Again, with being the content creator and being a P-star. You're a P-star. They like you young and fresh. And you're going to sign you in a contract. You're going to do a lot of movies. So, like when you get on P-Hub, and you see the same girl, like, dang, there she goes in, there she goes again. She's working with a production company that are putting her in all these scenes. She's getting her just pay.
Yeah.
As a content creator, the money is on you to make. So if you're not popular, nobody.
It don't matter
doesn't
that you don't went and slept with
Because
Gucci or
yeah,
whoever, because who are you?
they're not
Now
gonna
you're
care.
just another girl out of 100 girls on Gucci's page.
Yeah.
They're gonna subscribe to Gucci's page because we get to see Gucci take down a different girl every day.
Right.
Nobody's clicking your page.
Right.
Who are you?
This is what I said in my Twitter video, no, my TikTok that went viral. They need us, the women of the industry. The men in the industry are not thriving without the women, because what are they going to watch? If they're not watching us with the women that they want to be with, that's what makes the appeal of Gucci. He knocking down all the girls that the dudes want to be with.
But who does that appeal to? I'm
To
saying
the men.
I'm sorry.
to
As
the
a man
men.
as a man that follows only, like, y'all can ride a fucking dildo for all I care. I'm not watching for the nigga.
That's true. But you gotta
And that's
realize,
the type of content I do. Like, I don't combine with male creators because I remember when they started that exploitation, and I didn't. I mean, you know how you can foresee some stuff, but you're like, I can't believe they doing that.
Yeah.
It's
You know.
exploitation for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like you said, like they do target the young women, and it's almost like it's a combination of like the economy being awful. It's people already have hard time. Like if you are in high school, your family, some people's families are struggling, and you're struggling, and you want to make some money real quick. You hop online, you see a guy like Gucci who's maybe doing what he's doing or whatever, and you should like shit.
You
I
see
got a
millions of views.
I got a fat ass. I got some big titties. You know, I want to. You know,
And you're thinking he's gonna jumpstart your career,
exactly,
and that's not
but
how that
like
usually works.
it's and you see so many like young women like that's. Bitch, you didn't even try. Like you could have
That's what they
could've
say.
made comments.
That's what they say.
You could've-
Because this is the thing, like whenever because like with me, I took a pause from making content, but I still have people that check in and be like, okay, look, could you make something right quick and send me something? You still got people that like you, that still want to buy things from you, like, and that's because I ain't gonna lie, I'm so like. What the people call it is just so icky about everything.
Everything gives you the ick, bougie.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say bougie, but I was just so icky about the whole coming together and like sexing with different folks without paperwork.
Yeah.
So when I noticed that it went into that wave, I had to start doing I had to get solo dolo because I'm like, you know, you get invited somewhere and they telling you, oh, come to this content party, we doing content or whatever. Then when you get there, like, you ready to do content, but ain't nobody said nothing about these results.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
So now you're like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can't.
But the girl that's, you know, just turned 18,
She don't know.
She don't know any better, so she may
don't
think this
know.
is the standard until she gets somebody like who has some skin in the game that can say, no, like you was going for that.
But it takes you being in it and sometimes experiencing some of these things to know. Like how they got all this exposing of the entertainment industry right now. It's going to be an exposing of the...
You read my mind because I was definitely about to go that way.
It's going to be an exposing of the OnlyFans industry. This is just probably the beginning.
What is there to expose?
There's
so much to expose. But the thing is anybody going to believe it?
Right.
Well, tell me something.
I don't want to be the one to kick it off. I don't want to be the one to kick it off.
That's why they ain't never going to get exposed.
But that's not true because they do expose, but look how they're dragging that girl.
Right. And we have exposed, like, as a community. Because if you know, like, content creators, we migrate on Twitter. So if you want to know what's going on with us, Twitter is where you need to be. And if you know, you know. We've been talking about these things for years. Like, maybe like 2 summers ago, I remember we had a space that Miss B Nasty hosted. And, I mean, it was at least 1,000 of us in there. And we were just giving stories after stories. We even about people who have been predatory in the industry. Because these stories have been out there. Like, she said, I heard about the Gucci story back in 2022. Like, there's been people who he's assaulted. You know, I'm going to say allegedly, but these are stories that have come out on Twitter. But what happens if people don't believe you, then the story dies down. The Gucci thing was, I feel like it needed to happen because it was the first time that something we had already been saying went mainstream.
Though, and it had proof.
It had proof, and it went mainstream where people are actually paying attention. Like, oh, that's what's happening. Yeah, and we've been talking about it. It's just that people, again, I was lucky enough to get popular. I don't even know how it happened. Like, I started going viral, but that's not typical. So I can't tell you how to duplicate that process. I don't know what it was about.
It's not going to work for everybody.
Right, but people don't think like that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't come into this industry thinking that I would be popular or viral. I came in like, oh, this is something to do. But the thing is, when you get these younger girls and they seeing girls like me, they come to me, how did you go viral? How are you da-da-da-da?
Yeah.
And
it don't work. The same thing don't work for everybody.
Don't.
Like, it could be something as simple as you wearing a cheetah print dress that covered that cupped your ass the right way.
Right.
Like, somebody else could do the same walk, but they don't got the same body, they don't got the same cheetah print dress, and it don't work the same way for them. It could be the way the sun gleamed off your titties in a video. It could be the way you was eating this Snicker. Snicker. Happy Halloween. But yeah, it could be anything. So and it's it's the same thing like with the music and entertainment industry. Like somebody could ask me, Kodak, how did you? I mean, I worked my ass off. I mean, that's really the only thing I didn't stop because you only lose when you stop.
Right. I remember when we first met and you had just quit your job at the school.
Damn.
Remember, we met on Clubhouse in pandemic.
Wow.
And then I moved to Atlanta. You were the first person I met physically in Atlanta, and you had came over and you were just telling me how you had just quit your job. And you were starting to do the radio thing, and I've seen this entire thing go how it has for you. So congratulations on that. I'm very proud of you because I remember we sat in my living room and you was telling me how you was like, I'm about to take it seriously. I just left the school because I felt it was holding me back, and you stood on business. So
wow,
because that's what it takes. The consistency is gonna separate you from somebody else.
Yeah, like this is muscle memory for me at this point because I'm like, shit, I just have to do it because if I don't make my dreams happen, then ain't nobody gonna do it. Then the dreams just gonna die. So I tell, if y'all have anything that y'all want to do in life, I don't care what it is. I don't give a fuck if you want to start a farm. Right. You have to chase your dreams because nobody else is gonna do that shit for you.
Absolutely.
But look, that's the problem with the OnlyFans community because you got these guys who are in the game and been in the game and they see new girls every day and they're like, let me manage you. Let me run your page.
See,
let me run your page. Let me manage you. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. They're trying to eat off of you, but you don't see that.
My new thing now is kind of the reverse of that because I noticed what I've been able to do, like with talent, like with JoJo. JoJo before, like when me and JoJo met, JoJo was doing bottle service. She was already doing radio, but I feel like with the things that we were doing together, the shit just worked. It was another group. I'm not saying I made these people, but I am saying I do know when shit is gonna work. So Poor Minds, the podcast, I saw them back in 2018, 2019, and put them on the radio. Poor Minds is up now. The girl that was temporarily co-hosted with me, Tamira's up now. So I say that to say my new thing is like, if you do OnlyFans and you want to do some other shit, holla at me.
Hello. No, that's why we're here.
Holla at me.
Right. Kodak, hold on. Big homie.
But we're transitioning, and this, like us in this group, when we've talked about it, how we're transitioning out of just focusing on the OF content, we're doing more clean things that can be seen by a wider audience. Because the thing about it is, the OF's gonna be there. People gonna Google it, they're gonna find it. Yeah. We don't have to be so open with it.
But it's always things that I was talking to somebody else who I pitched this plan to, but sometimes people have to see the vision. And I was talking to them and they were like, they were kind of, they wanted to do it, but they were kind of shy. Well, not shy, but like nervous about making that transition. But I'm like, you can push a story and you can push your own narrative out there about why you're making this transition away from that. Like we've seen celebrities do that all the time. Right. Like people like Black China. You know, Black China.
Oh my gosh, she's my favorite. I just love her come up. So, she's inspiring too. Yes.
So that's why I'm confident about this new venture that I'm undertaking.
Well, let's talk about it after.
Oh, for sure. You got my number. Yeah. That's why I'm confident about it because I know that I read a lot of marketing books, and there are different things that you can do to distance yourself. Like even if it is something as serious as doing, like you was taking mini meat on video. I don't like you. There's a narrative for everything.
Jim the Jewel.
Yeah.
She's one that's transitioning out. So, you know, she was like, I don't feel the industry's for me. And
did she?
Yeah, she even changed her name from Jim the Jewel to Jim because she's in her workout.
I did see Jim. I just seen it.
We're transitioning. The girlies are really transitioning out. And I feel the same way because I feel like I have...
Hit me up.
I have so many viral hits. I have classic content. Yeah. So when people think of my content, they're going to think of certain videos. I don't really need to make...
And you can get those taken down.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't because they're monetized. Yeah. Like, I get paid from Pornhub every month. Yeah. So, and even though I'm not that active on my OnlyFans, there's still content there. People are still buying every single day. Mm-hmm. So, it's like, I don't really have to focus on that. I'm ready to focus on something else, you know? Yeah. And that's a lot of the girls are getting there to focus on something else.
Yeah. We'll talk. But you was talking about the industry, getting exposed. What do y'all think about this Diddy shit? the diddler?
Well, I mean, I don't like. We don't know, but from what we've heard, is these are things that people have been saying for years.
Yeah.
Like,
So kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably not truth to every story, but
Of
it's
course
a
not.
lot of truth
Of course not. Yeah.
to a lot of stories.
If 1,000 people are speaking, like if 1,000, they said like what 1,200 people came out
Yeah.
again. It could have been 1,200, 12,000 because they made a hotline about it. But I think if 12,000 people are speaking out about it, it's some bullshit in there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like once you open that door, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
When you start doing that type of bullshit, you can't be mad if a couple liars slip through the crack.
Yeah, you open yourself
You
up to
opened
it.
the door. You
Exactly.
shouldn't have been on that. And then the thing is, I see the comments and people are like, he wouldn't do that. Those girls wanted to be there and da-da-da-da-da. Nah. And I just feel like, first of all, unless you've been a woman and been around some of these men, you can't speak about that.
I feel like men
And
can
then-
speak on. What you about to say?
And then also, this is a man with money.
Yeah.
Men with money don't understand no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's true.
But I do think
There ain't no no.
Men can speak on it too because I feel like all men have seen they creep ass homeboy. Like,
But they don't speak
They
on
don't
their
speak
creep ass
on it.
homeboys.
They never
Right.
do.
They'll know their homeboys are creeping. They won't say nothing. They
won't.
don't care. They'll defend him.
Right, and
They'll
that's the
see
point
him
that
doing
I
some
see
shit
in
and
that.
they'll defend him.
Yeah.
So I think that's bullshit because the men are blaming the women and saying all this and all that. But there's men every day that know their homeboys ain't shit and they
It's-
don't say nothing or do
Yeah.
nothing. Look at all those people that were around him, but they were getting paid, so they're not gonna say nothing or do
And
nothing.
joining in with him.
because
Yes.
those people were in the same position that those women were in. They needed him.
Mm-hmm.
So if Diddy's a freak but Diddy's also paying your family's bills.
But when do your morals become more important than money?
Right.
Yeah.
When do you just say, okay, you know what? It got to be another way. Like, I mean, damn, God, this what you did? Like,
But I feel like those are challenges that are put in place and like to test your morality and when you're going to say enough is enough.
Right.
Because like it doesn't always have to be something that serious. But like with me, I know that this week I wanted to get better with like not frivolously spending money just because I had it. So I think a good test for me last night was I was drunk. I was just leaving this event and I was like, it was like 11 o'clock and I hadn't eaten yet. I'm like, I'm drunk. I'm hungry as a motherfucker. I'm about to order a pizza. 11 o'clock at night. And then I was thinking, no, you don't need to spend money on the pizza. You have food at home. So I went home and I ate some popcorn and I made a burger in my air fryer. So I felt good about myself.
Yeah.
So that was a test that I feel like I passed. Other people have a more serious test, like what we're speaking on now. It was like your bills are paid. I mean, your bills are due, and the person that's paying your bills is a creep. What are you gonna do? And they're like, shit,
Yeah.
I don't see nothing.
But why do we not hold the women at that same standard then?
What do you mean? Well, hold on.
Like, why are we trashing and going in on the women?
Mm-hmm. And
In-
it's always
That's
like
not
that.
fair.
Right.
Like,
And
that's not fair. They want the women to have more accountability than all these grown
Than the
men.
men.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. If we're gonna let the men have a pass, let's give the women the same grace.
Absolutely.
I think maybe, and this is just not specific to that situation, but I think in just kind of make it something relatable for everybody in the room. A lot of times on the internet, people will say, if a woman goes out dressing provocatively in front of a bunch of guys and something happened, then it's the woman's fault, right? Y'all seen that logic on the internet. So my thing is, if I have a car with a bunch of jewelry in it, right, and I park in a shady neighborhood and somebody break in my car, steal the jewelry, I'm going to be accountable in that situation and say, I shouldn't have had this car and all this shit in this fucked up neighborhood and be mad at them for stealing.
But Kodak, I know we're not comparing no
Yeah,
woman to no
that's-
car.
I'm not making that comparison
Oh,
because
I was about to say.
because I can't make
whoa.
that
That's because that's how guys do it.
Yeah, they
because
do.
I,
They
because
make
I
some
can't,
ridiculous
because
object
I
comparison.
can't make that comparison. But I do say that because in that situation, I know criminals exist.
Okay, but look, this goes back to like, I don't know about everybody's household or community, but I think in the Black community, growing up, they'll always tell the little girl, put some clothes on.
Right.
But why are we not talking about your creep ass uncle or the creep ass cousin or your man that's looking at a little girl?
You know what?
Why is
You're
it
right.
the little girl's job to put some clothes on, but we're not going to say nothing about this nasty ass grown man? We're going to let him keep coming around a little girl, and we're going to look at her and call her fast or make her cover up in her home instead of not letting him come over?
Or get mad at her for blossoming.
Come
Get
on now,
mad at
that's
her
not
for hitting
fair.
her own peaks and
Women's
becoming
whole
beautiful.
life is about shrinking themselves to make men comfortable.
You're right.
That's
And
not fair.
and I don't even.
It doesn't matter what a woman wears, what a woman says, or what a woman does. That don't give nobody the right to do nothing to her.
Absolutely, I agree. But I'm not excusing the creep ass uncle at all. I'm not
But
saying that.
the families do.
The-
all
the-
the
no, no,
time.
the-
The creep
the-
ass
all the
uncle
time.
keep
The
being
the
excused.
families do, and they will expect, and they will expect the
years.
woman. They will expect like in those awful situations where some shit does happen, they expect the kid to be like
Don't
forgiving.
say nothing.
Yeah.
Don't
Forget
say
about
nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Get over
don't
it.
or don't mess
And
up
they
the
don't
family.
even take the proper
And that's
measures to get these kids the
crazy.
proper help either. It's just
But-
get
and-
over
and
it.
that leads to bigger issues as adults, because these, like, I do feel like that's why a lot of women and men grow up to be deviants.
That's why our community is so hypersexual,
Yeah.
because nobody's talking about how everybody's kid is getting touched.
Yeah,
The boys, the girls, everybody.
yeah.
And the guys think it's cute and cool because it's like, oh, an older lady liked me or fondled
Man.
me or did whatever. But you were sexually assaulted,
You were
babe.
sexually assaulted.
That
It
was not
wrong.
okay.
She shouldn't have done that.
And that's
it
why
has
these niggas can't
skewed-
keep their dicks in their pants.
And it has skewed their minds in regards to how they pursue and have relationships with women later on in life.
And that's not cool
Yeah.
because
And
nobody's
it's
speaking on it.
and it's a never-ending cycle.
Yes, and it's messing our community up.
Very much
It's
so.
the biggest problem with
It is, but everybody is going to just push it under the rug.
We judge the finished product and not the thing that started it.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a great analogy.
Yes.
Like,
And it's just sick though that a little girl can't even be a little girl. She's a kid. She don't even know what's going on, but she got to put some clothes on. But we're not going to say nothing about the grown man who's grown as fuck.
but
Who
let-
should
let
not
me-
even be looking at
but-
her.
but
Who
let-
shouldn't even be coming around if we know he's
Right.
looking at her?
but let
Why
me-
is he
let
even
me
still
tell you how,
allowed
Let me tell you how
here?
ingrained that shit is. I feel like we all like generally around the same age. Like, y'all remember like when the R. Kelly shit was going on, like back in
Right.
the 2000s? They was selling them videos in the hood.
They were. And people were watching it. A 14-year-old girl being assaulted by a grown man. And we laughed at that.
Like,
you know?
I never saw the video, and I never want to see it, but I remember being like in like chilling with family, like, and hearing conversations in the neighborhood about like, oh man, they got that R. Kelly video. Y'all seen that new, like, talking about that shit like it's an episode of Power.
It's child pornography.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know, like somebody had a watch party for the Diddy tapes.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
why would you want to have a watch party for some Diddy tapes?
So what is it that makes us think like that shit is normal?
Well, you have to think about it. It's a celebrity. Now, if it was just you and me and just some random man, that wouldn't be acceptable. But because it's a celebrity, we know them. We feel like, who don't feel like they know P. Diddy through all the years and all the music and all.
Some
the
people
viral
know
hits.
this nigga for real.
Right, they do. But when something, again, we just said it earlier, people are always going to know. They always want to be in the negative of things. The positive and the truth don't matter. Something negative's happening, it's going viral.
Yeah.
It's getting views. So yeah, people want to know because out of curiosity is just human nature.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shift gears real quick before we get up out of here. What do y'all think about like when people say traditional versus modern dating?
Not this shit.
Right.
Oh,
There is no more traditional dating. Like, that sense is gone to me. The traditional is now. We just like in the 1800s, they didn't date like they did in the 1900s. We are in 2024. Think about it like this. You as a, well, not, I won't say you, but just in general, men want a traditional woman to be all these things, but do not want to be and provide like a traditional man.
At
And
all.
still, and this is back to entitlement and the audacity. So you want a woman to 50-50, bear your kids, sexually appease you, stay in shape, make sure the house is good, and Like, but
I feel- I-
go to work.
I feel this shit bubble. I feel this shit bubbling up in her.
Yes, because it is
that's some
ridiculous.
bullshit.
I come from seeing a traditional family. I come from a grandparent.
Right.
My grandmother stayed at home and raised us. My mom stayed at home and raised us. My father went to work. My grandfather went to work, had his own business. That's what I seen as a traditional. That's not what's happening now.
They want
So
you to do
can't
everything
expect
and
as a
still go to
man-
work.
Right. As a man, you can't expect to have a traditional relationship when you, as a man, aren't providing the traditional things of a relationship. Taking care of your wife, not having her work. Like, I seen my grandpa come home and give my grandmother the money. The same, my dad come home and give my mom the money. You know what I'm saying? Men are not doing those kind of things. So until a man can give the traditionalness that he is asking for, get a modern woman, because you're now a modern man too.
But I don't like how we do this traditional modern bullshit because I feel like this is a new time. This is a new era.
This is a new
There's
era.
never been no social media.
Right.
Now y'all mad because the women are making their own money. They talking bad about OnlyFans girls, but these girls are changing their lives. They could change their families' lives. But you're going to talk down on her. Well, since when did somebody getting up and going to make their own money become something to talk about?
Right.
No matter how you're getting your money, you're getting your own money. And it's plenty of women that don't want to work. They talk bad about the women who don't want to do nothing, but then they also talk bad about those sex workers because they're sex workers. Do you want somebody who get no money, or you want somebody that gets some money?
And
Is she a gold digger? You don't even have no gold. What is she digging for? They calling somebody a gold digger. You don't have nothing. Oh, I don't want to get married because the women always taking stuff. What do you have for us to take from you?
Right.
Absolutely.
Can we speak about our real lives and not things we're seeing
And
in
on
other
the
people's
internet.
lives?
women,
Yeah.
most black women walk away from marriages empty-handed.
Yes.
But they think they're about to lose
forbid
something.
this man die on her, she have to die in debt because this nigga was sick.
And take care of him before he died. So, and I have to preface saying, because I'm married, so I always make that a big thing. I'm married, and I'm speaking from a perspective of a woman that is married. You know what I'm saying? The traditional roles out the window. We don't have a traditional marriage, and it's okay. It works for us. But what I feel like social media be making all these memes and all these rules that really don't apply in real relationships.
Yes, you need to do what works for you in your real life and in your relationship. Not what's working for Diddy or fucking Beyonce or Cardi B. Like, you're not
But
Cardi
ain't
B.
none of them people shit working either.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but they'll still be basing their shit off of some celebrity.
Yeah.
You're not a celebrity.
That shit gonna keep people single.
You work at
listening
the
to
gas
social media.
station.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
How you talk about somebody
Yeah.
gonna take something from
I'm
you?
a high value man. You got 8 baby mamas and
Come
you don't,
on.
you know what
So-
I'm saying?
Your
Like,
child support bill is long
on.
as fuck.
That's what
Right.
hot nigga.
on. And they just don't be being realistic,
And I'm
and I
not
don't
gonna lie,
like
I
that.
feel like women gotta start upping the standards when it come down to dating men
Yes.
with all these broken homes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because like if you get in a relationship with a man and he has multiple broken homes, oh, you gonna see the financial kid. Like I don't care how much money that man got. It's gonna be a day you're gonna see he's gonna have to provide for all them homes, and you're gonna have to wonder, is it enough left for me?
Yeah.
Because he done have to provide for all of these broken homes. I don't do men with broken homes.
And it also shows you the man's character.
It does.
It don't matter what he say because the proof is in the pudding. You couldn't make it work with none of your families, and now you want to start another one?
Yeah.
That's a big
You
red
different,
flag.
baby.
No, this is the
different.
thing. This is the thing
She
too.
was different too.
They always,
This
always
is the thing too.
different.
Yeah.
It's men that will reserve that broken home for certain girls. You see what I'm saying? And then they're gonna want to settle down with a woman and never have kids with her, never do none of that because they don't want her to be responsible for nobody but them.
It's entrapment.
It's
A lot
like
of men
bullshit.
It's
do
men that do that.
The men get
Like,
the
I'm
women
not gonna watch you
pregnant
take
these
care of no
days
baby.
for
That's for them bitches out there.
entrapment. Remember back in the day, it was always the women were trapping the men. But when you
No.
get grown and realize what's really going on in the world, these men are trapping the women.
They don't want another man to have the same access that he had, even if he doesn't want it anymore.
Yeah, but they still want to make sure. Oh, you're striving in life. Let me get you pregnant. You headed up the right direction. Let me get you pregnant. Slow your motion right on down.
Man.
Let me not take care of the baby either.
Right.
Let me really put you in a bad situation.
I don't.
Like what the fuck?
Oh, you a boss bitch? You got your own shit.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, let
put
me
a
create
baby.
me something to come here so I can have me somewhere to camp.
Yeah.
Now they love doing that.
He
Creating a
gonna, he gonna
campsite.
plant his flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
put
can
my
always
flag here.
circle
I need
back,
a
always come
campsite.
back around. Where my son? Where my daughter?
Yeah.
You not let me see my kid. What?
And where them kids
Is
that I don't
is
want?
that something that you
Come
big
on.
that's something you went through?
Shut up, Kodak. You messy. Now you messy. Should I put my baby daddy on blast?
I mean,
No.
shit. This the truth.
If I put my baby daddy on blast, his baby mama gonna be mad.
Ooh.
We got no name.
I only got one baby daddy, Kodak.
I don't know that man.
You brought him up.
Who
I don't
is
know
he?
that man either. Who is he? Have y'all seen him?
I don't know.
They told me on Instagram Live yesterday I don't even know my baby daddy.
How would you not know your baby daddy?
And then I was like, yeah, I don't. And then niggas in the comments were like, I'll be your baby's daddy.
They always say that, right?
That
A
is-
win is a win.
Yeah, when it's a win.
You can be the daddy.
A win
You
is
be
a
the pappy.
win.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was smart enough to never let a man trap me.
That's what it is, though. It's really a trap, and it sucks, though, because as a woman who I am a mom, and I would like to have more kids, but it's like, do you really want to do that? It's too much of a risk. It's like, you damn near better off having a baby by yourself. Making sure you're in the right space and having a child for yourself. Then look at how the men talk about baby mamas or women who have children. Look how they talk about your body after you have a child for them. Look how they talk about how single moms are trash. Like, not everybody came from a woman, but we're bashing the women who are bringing life.
I don't bash single mothers.
Not you, but I'm saying if you look on the internet,
Oh, they bash
they
them.
talk
Oh.
crazy about women who have kids, single mothers, how women's bodies change after having kids, how they're not turned on
You know-
anymore,
hold on, you know
how
what
they're
it is, though?
disgusted.
You know what it is though? It be the nigga y'all had the baby for. It's the nigga y'all had the baby for.
But that's not fair either because they always
That
say
is a
choose
loser.
better. No, they always say choose better. But there's plenty of stories about wives who are married and have a child, and they either A, are still married but raising their kid by themselves, or B, they did everything right, got married and everything, and then the guy still leaves and still don't take care of his kid.
Yeah.
You do not know what's going to happen with a man and his child until it happens. Men are pretenders. They're great at it.
What happened to women's intuition?
How you gonna have intuition if you're putting on an act? If everything you're doing is an act, how can I have intuition?
Intuition is gonna read past the
That's
act.
not true. If it's an act, the whole point of an act, when we're watching movies, how good is the act? We wouldn't be watching a movie if the act wasn't good.
I still know this shit fake.
Because you know it's fake. You have to know. It's one of those things like if you know, you know. You don't know.
But women
Only
turn
way
a
you
blind
really
eye to
can
it,
know.
too.
Some women do, but not all women are like that because, like, yeah, the guys with multiple families and broken homes, yeah, you can see that. But what if this is his first child?
So women's
Yeah.
so
How
women-
you gonna know?
So
Yeah.
women's
You
intuition.
don't know.
So women's intuition only activates if he tells you he a piece of shit.
No,
No.
it depends though, because if he has 5 baby mamas or whatever, then yeah,
That's
you
just
gotta
common
use
sense,
discernment.
yeah.
But if he has no kids, how do you know how he's gonna act once he has a kid? Somebody gotta be a test
A
dummy.
lot of men change up when
Right.
they have kids, and I've
Yes.
seen it. It's just like when
Y'all
you
change up when you have kids. What's the kids?
Everybody
do?
But
changes
you have
up.
to realize a woman physically changes when she has a child.
Y'all
It's more-
emotionally change
right,
too,
Exactly.
and that's because you're not just dealing.
But-
You dealing with a life, and
Exactly.
sometimes that life you gonna put that life before the nigga you had the kid with.
But that's I don't know
you
about
have
that.
to, because if the man is not taking care and stepping up,
well, I
like
mean,
he
you should. That's what a mother does.
But you should
Exactly.
too. If it's our kid, we should be putting our kid first. It shouldn't be just solely on the mom. But this is the men's problem because I see it all the time in the comments or on Twitter or whatever. Oh, they be mad the lady didn't gain weight. She just pushed your big head ass baby out.
Did your
What
big head
the
ass
fuck?
baby too?
But it's your big head ass baby. I didn't get
The,
myself
ba- the
pregnant.
big the big head came from your side.
I didn't get myself pregnant, but damn, you shaming her body. Oh, you want to have sex. Damn, you can't wait 6 weeks to have sex. 6 weeks after I just was pregnant all year. You can't wait 6 weeks. Oh, you need your suck. Damn, the baby needs to eat. Like, I'm tired. I can't take a shower. I can't comb my hair. My body is all out of whack. How you think I feel? You looking at me all gross? I'm looking at me gross too. Damn. Like, give me some grace. They don't be giving these ladies no grace. And then this is why they don't want to have no kids. This is why women are trying not to have kids. But that's why they banned abortions, because the women don't want to have no kids.
Yeah.
It's not like back in the day, women were doing all these things out of survival. They couldn't get their own jobs. They had
Couldn't even
to
get a
do
bank
these
account.
things. Yeah. Now it's like women can do everything themselves. And they're seeing how they're getting treated after having these kids.
Yeah.
Why am I finna keep having kids for some of these guys?
And that's why I don't have any. I just
And
have not
you
been
can't be
selfless
mad
enough.
about it
Yeah.
though. Because I have a kid and I'm like, girl, don't have no kids.
That's
Don't
what people
do
tell
it.
me.
Done.
Don't
Yeah.
do it. That's how I feel
I
too.
want it
And I
done.
do want another kid, but I'm like, do I want to take that risk? Like, it's too risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, my thing is, like I said earlier, I just have not been selfless enough. I'm not selfless enough to have to give up my own autonomy to take care of a child and not know if the other partner is going to put in the same work that I know I'm going to put in.
Because you're committed for life.
Yeah,
That
and
shit's like
they
different.
can come and go as they please, and that's the
Yes.
problem with being a mother. And then when you see the moms who actually give their children to the father, oh, you're such a terrible mom. How could you do something like that? But we allow men to do that shit on the regular like it's nothing.
And nobody say nothing to them.
I ain't gonna lie. I be seeing them post. I know, man. I think some of them are joking when I see that shit on Twitter. That was like, if I have a if I have a baby and the daddy don't want him, I'm gonna drop him off and leave.
I would.
All right, that baby gonna be.
But look,
that baby gonna go to CPS. You do
But
that shit
look,
with me.
you can
That
say
baby
that
gonna be
type
a-
of stuff.
That baby gonna be a ward of the state.
But you can say that type of stuff until you actually had a baby.
Bullshit.
Because
You
it's
get-
easy
because-
to say that
That's
shit until you
absolutely
have the
true.
baby.
Nah.
I was like that.
I was like that too.
And
Like,
I
oh,
had
I'm gonna
to-
give him
yeah.
his baby. But then I have my baby. I'm not giving my
That is
baby away.
that's a
Fuck
maternal
that.
instinct. Because
That is.
9
It's my
times out of 10,
baby.
if you, especially if I didn't want the baby anyway, you think you finna give birth to this
Oh, see,
baby
no,
that
that's
I didn't
different.
want?
That's different.
I will give this baby up for adoption as
that's
soon as you drop. It won't even
different.
come in the house. You're gonna drop it off on the porch and we'll take it to the adoption center.
But that's different if you did not want the baby. We're not talking about the guys who don't want the baby. We're talking about these guys who put on an act like they want the baby.
They didn't want the baby
Knowing
either.
they don't want, but it's an
It's an
act.
act.
It's an
You're
act.
not
They act like
saying
they do.
I don't want the baby.
Mask.
They be want access, and like I'm a survivor of a nigga who did that shit, you know, and like, well, for me, I had my baby for this one nigga, and he come to find out he had cheated on somebody else, had a like my baby was the outside baby, and all of that there. So we like me and my baby got treated like kind of different, you know what I'm saying? So I cut off all access and got into another relationship, and that man is still the active father to my child. My son is in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like he, like,
And when did he kick in? Like what age with the kid did he kick in?
like my baby was like finna be 1.
Oh yeah,
he was a
he
small
he's
baby.
daddy.
Okay.
Because like basically he had to come pick me up because I had just robbed my real baby daddy because he wanted me to fuck him for some money.
Wait.
It got serious
Wait.
quick.
That escalated really
Wait.
quickly.
You did what?
I had to rob him. Okay, so I was
Period.
like riding around in his car, and the
Get him.
AC didn't work, and like my baby was sweating daily in this car. This car was gonna kill my baby, so I needed the money to get the AC fixed, and I went to him for it. Like, okay, this is your baby too, and he wanted me to sleep with him for the money.
That's what they be doing too.
So he wanted to get drunk and all that. So then I just robbed him. I just went in his house and robbed him.
What you hit him for?
I stole all his money. He ain't had but like $1,200. I just stole all the money, and I stole his cigarettes because I wanted him to be stressed out.
Oh my God!
You can't smoke, nigga.
What?
Fuck you mean?
The cigarettes is the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
Like,
You
he
was
thought he
just-
was gonna go
you
get
was
a
just being
smoke.
petty at that
I
point.
was being petty.
Like, give me this
I feel
fucking
like he
snippet too,
deserved
bitch.
it. He deserved it.
I was being
yeah.
petty. And yeah, like I was being real petty.
You shit in this toilet too, did you?
No, I didn't do that.
Nigga tried to doodle log in the toilet
No.
and walked off.
Oh my
No,
god!
I didn't do that. But I stole all his money. I stole the cigarettes, and I just left. And I called the new guy like to pick me up because like he like a square. He know he was dealing with the type of person that I was.
Wait, your
but-
baby daddy?
The other guy,
the new guy,
the
new
new
guy.
daddy.
Well, I made with the real daddy or whatever. Because I mean, honestly, my son respects this man more. He don't even like his biological daddy. I wouldn't dare send him to go.
Wait,
be
so
with
the
that
new
man.
daddy is the square?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, shit, I like squares. I ain't got no problem with squares. But anyways, so he didn't really like know what kind of vibe I was on. But I was like, hey, I need you to pull up. Like, I need you to pull up. So then I jump in the car and I'm like, go, go, go. He was like, what the hell? And the next day, he was like, look, if you got to do all that for this man to take care of his child, don't ask him for nothing else. He was like, don't ask him for nothing else. When it come down to this child, you come to me. And I was like, okay. And we just kind of
Y'all been locked in ever since?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's a beautiful story.
That is a beautiful story.
That nigga pulled
Shout
up.
out to the daddies
shout
that
out to
taking
him.
care of somebody else,
Because they
baby,
try to
being
make
a
it seem
better
like
daddy.
once you're a baby mother that nobody wants you, and that is a
And that's
lie.
a complete lie.
No, it's a lie.
It's
Y'all
men
just
who
don't be
who
wanting the
love
men.
to-
Y'all just don't be wanting the men 9 times out of 10.
No,
That's not true.
No,
That's not true
You just
either.
called that man square.
Well, he was. But
She
not
said
all
compared to
men.
what she had going on.
What she was doing at the time.
Right,
Yeah.
compared to who I was, like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If I was in his position, I would have just left me alone. Like,
Exactly. You wouldn't even do what he did.
you doing all of this, but instead of leaving me alone, he like, look, if you got to do all that, when it come down to this baby and you and all that, just come to me. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I got money. I can support y'all. You don't need to go through that to be, to take care of this child. And the thing is, that's what I started doing. And like years later, like the biological dad, like started calling or whatever, because he thought he was gonna still have access to me and that child after that. But that's what he lost, was the access to us. So he no longer had access to us no more. And I stood on that. Because that man took good care of me and my baby.
Yeah.
So I stood on that. And shoot. When he started coming back around, he asked for him and stuff like that. And I told him, look, you got to talk to him about that. I always send him to his child, or call my mama, you talk to her. I don't know, deal with anybody but me.
Yeah.
Like,
You had to need a middleman. Yeah.
Right. So
Because they be really just wanting us to deal with you. It
Right.
be about you. It don't be about
They
the
wanna see
kid,
if
and
they
that's
have
not
the
cool.
access.
It's more about the coochie than the baby, and that's not
Right.
cool.
and
it's
like
not
now
cool.
I force him to talk to his child, and the man don't even call no more. He don't even
Yeah,
call no
because it's
more.
never about the kid. It's more about you and controlling you or having access to you.
Right.
It's not about the kid, and that's
Never.
not fair.
Because, I know my son rejects the man a lot. So one day he called me, he won't answer my phone calls and all that. What can I do about it?
You know what's so crazy? I haven't given this a full description. I haven't went into full detail about this yet. But my biological father been trying to reach out to me for like the past year. And I've never had any contact with this man at all. Like, since I don't have any memories. My earliest memories of any father figure in my life was my Uncle John, who's been with my aunt since I can remember anything. And they just celebrated 13 years of marriage in earlier this month. So no, I don't want to talk to you, nigga. So I think when dads are deadbeats but want to like come back around later, they have to be open to the fact that no.
Where the fuck you been this whole time?
Right.
And at this point, I gotta look at you like another nigga on the street, cause like,
Because you are.
like, yeah,
You never cared.
Yes, you're my biological father, but nigga, I'm 34. There have been 34 Christmases that I have no memory of you. Wait, no, it'll be 34 this year. 33 Christmases, I have no memory of you.
But you got to also look at where your life is right now.
Yeah.
Of course he wants to be
They always
around.
come back around.
But when the situation that first kicked off that kind of dominoed into this, I knew that was gonna happen, and that's why I didn't want to engage in it, because it was like, if I talk to this person, then it's gonna be, oh, that's who your son is, because it got to a point where his cousin tried to reach out to me. If I don't know this nigga, I definitely don't know you.
And I don't want to know
I don't,
you.
and I'm cool.
Like, leave me
And it's
alone.
not, and it's not no negative shit, but it's like I don't even want to be opened up to that side
Right.
of anything. I don't care.
Right.
And that's a part of keeping your peace. You
Absolutely.
you're not obligated to have them in your life if you don't want to.
Because that's just going to be another thing that's going to stress me out.
Yeah.
Like, because you're going to come with your whole set of issues, and God forbid you actually want something. Like, what if I found this nigga trying to be a rapper?
Who the
My
uncle?
daddy.
Put him on the show. He need help. He need this. They
Yeah.
always come around needing help.
He need to.
Where was you when I was a kid? You wasn't helping me.
He need
My-
to. He
but
need to be fucking for real.
It happens like that, not just when you have fame. Like, my father's father, he came back around when he was dying because nobody else would help him. And now the story there is my grandmother on my father's side, she was a mistress to a man that was married. She didn't know he was married, ended up having twins. My grandmother never dated again after that. She just dedicated her life to raising my dad and his twin brother. But the father never came around, never supported. I don't even know the man. The man died, never met him. But in the end of life, his own children wouldn't take care of him. He didn't have anybody else. And he came back to my father, who had grace and mercy enough to be the one to be his medical power of attorney and take him to appointments, and when he died, to handle his funeral. But that shit happens a lot, and that's
That's
BS.
a good man.
Yeah.
That's a good man, because me, I'm going to put a pillow on your face. nigga.
No, and we gotta start like really standing on stuff like that. Like,
No, I'm standing on that
I
shit
let
for
my
real.
son be how he want to be. Like, everybody said it was wrong because the daddy reached out to me. So I called my son. I said, look, I need this man off my line. I need you to talk to him and all that there. So he called him and said, I need you to stay off my mama's line. And if you want to talk to me, you can call me. And if I don't answer my phone, I will call you back.
Listen.
Period.
That
Especially because your son is old enough to make his own choices.
Right.
You don't have to. You are not standing in the way of their relationship. Your kid is old enough to make his own choices, but they don't think about that. They always blaming the mama.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever thought that maybe this child has his own opinion about you,
Right.
own
Yeah.
feelings about you? And kids are not dumb. They see who's here every day.
Yeah.
They see who's not here every day.
Yeah.
You don't have to really even say much. Kids see things too. People don't give kids enough credit, and that's crazy.
Right. He definitely, like, because by the time I did let my son go get to know him, you done beat a girl in front of this child. Y'all done had a whole shootout at the house.
Oh, Jesus
Y'all done
Christ.
done all this foolishness, and he not used to this.
Oh,
And then-
God, get your
That's
baby
a
from
lot,
over there.
yeah.
And then you wonder why the baby, like, because my son was like, like, you know, when he came home, he was like, Mama, we don't do that. He's like, I don't want to go back over there. Like, I was like, well, I ain't seen you. No way. You the one let the man talk you into thinking that y'all was gonna have like a relationship. Cause like he broke my son's heart a few times. Cause I never like stopped him from knowing who the man was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's because I didn't want him to get grown and then start trying to like, oh, I need to fill a void and go look for this nigga. Then you go find a piece of shit. I want you to know that this is a piece of shit from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And after he broke his heart a few times and he realized who he was, my son don't even want that man talking to me. So that's why he be like, don't call my mama. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boys don't play about their mama either.
Nah, for sure.
Boys do not play about their mama.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's why when that shit was happening, like, I don't even talk about it. Like,
Right? Leave me alone.
But that's why I don't understand how these guys get on the internet and talk bad about single moms. You mad at the parent that stayed,
Yeah.
but nobody's mad at the parent that's not staying? Like, that's just weird. I don't know. Like, everybody came from a woman. Nobody would be here if it wasn't for a woman. So your mama shouldn't have had you because nobody knows that the daddy's going to be around. But why is the parent who's sticking around getting shamed? That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you need to start outcasting these niggas who don't take care of their kids. Like, that's the real problem.
And they homeboys need to start shaming them.
They
for
don't,
it.
though.
The
They
same
hang
way
out
they
with 'em.
shame them behind shoes, girls, or whatever cause. Start shaming them by not being a father.
Yeah.
Like, especially, damn, you riding like that. I just seen your little junior over there in some butterballs.
They don't
What you
care
doing?
because it
You
don't
know
got
what I'm
nothing to
saying?
do with
It's
them, so
time
they
to
don't
start
care.
shaming that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. The thing is this. What I noticed. It's not even about the kid. It's about them trying to do harm to the mother.
Yes, that's all it is. It all boils down to how they feel about that mom.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going with their program or letting them do whatever, or you're not just like, okay, cool, I'll do whatever so you can see your kid, then you got to get outcasted and so does your kid. And how is that fair?
Yeah.
How is that fair? Like, because you're mad at an adult, you're going to take it out on a kid. So I be mad all the time. I'm not going to not be a mom to my son, though.
yeah.
That's
Right.
not cool.
But because because that dad they don't have any attachment to it.
Exactly. But that's why they should stop running around getting people pregnant.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that note, the Thick Homies house is.
Big homies
Yeah. I need to.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I need to make a logo for that. Thick Homies
Thick
house.
Homies
Yeah,
house.
It's
We
gonna
love
be a
that.
pair, gonna be a pair of titties.
We need a segment. Big homies house.
Thick Homies house. All right, now don't give me no new
I'm
ideas.
serious. Don't have it and not put
Yes.
us on though.
I got
Okay?
you. I
We
got
the
you. I got
first
you.
Because I'm gonna be
Yeah.
at the door like,
What's
Now run
this?
my episode back.
wait.
You said it.
Run this
Big
back.
homies house.
So,
Who's
yeah.
up in here?
We got Naiy in the building.
Right,
Yeah,
guys.
Of course.
Thanks for having me.
Darbie, young Darbie,
Hey.
and of course Thixen Vixen. Yeah. Look at the Reese's Pieces. In
Ah!
there. Yeah.
Assortment of chocolate.
Assortment of chocolates. And on that note, we go.
Give you a sweet tooth.
Bye.